What's up, guys? Chandler Barber back at it again, and in this video you're gonna see me transform my dad from this to this. And this is something that I've been wanting to get into for a little while. It's called men's hair replacement systems, and I've been seeing it becoming more popular online and in bigger cities. And I kind of saw that in my city, Jackson, Mississippi, there was a lack of promotion for this, and so I decided to get trained on it. Thankfully, the barbershop I work at invested in me to get trained in it, and my first client is my father. So keep in mind that this is my first time doing an install, but I wanted to document it, and maybe it would be helpful for some people that are getting into it. Otherwise, it can be pretty entertaining because I was really happy and proud of the way that it turned out. So here we have my dad. He's been balding or losing his hair since, I would say, probably his mid-30s. And he's in his late 50s now. But I was really happy when he decided to do this, because he used to probably would have been really particular in not wanting people to notice such a drastic change. But he really took one for the team and was doing this to help me out, and I think he ended up really liking it. With the way the outcome came to be. So I'm really grateful for my dad and thankful that he was willing to help me out in this way. But right now I'm just trying to determine his front hairline. And once I've done that, I'm going to take off the area that I'm going to make the template to, which is all that top crown area. I'm using mainly just a trimmer. I don't want to get it completely bald, just so that there's not really any irritation once the system has been on his head for a while. Sometimes if you get it too low, you can create ingrown hairs or whatever. So this part was pretty funny, just to see him like this, and it was getting pretty real, because he knew that there was no turning back at this point. But I'm going to create the outline of that area, and this will be my template to cut the system down to. I will say that after I did this initial install, 2 days later, we decided to reapply the system and bring the front hairline up a little bit more. So this was a rookie mistake for me, but in consideration of his age, we realized that the front hairline was a little too low, and so he felt a lot better once we got that up a little bit. But it was all good and all learning experience for me, and allowed me to get the practice. So created the template with some tape over the saran wrap, and then I'm going to cut that template out and make sure it fits well on his head. And once I'm good with that, that's when I go into using that template to cut the actual hair system out. I don't actually have that on film, but I use just a little razor and kind of go along the base of the system. So once that is done, I'm going to do a dry fit. This is just to make sure that template translated to the system, and that I'm able to get it exactly where I want it. And I use this white little pencil to make little parallel markings on the head and the system, just to make sure it's lined up well. Once I'm happy with that, then I'm going to use 99% 99% alcohol to really clean his scalp of oils, and then I put on top of his scalp a protectant. After that, we're getting into the application. So this is a bond that's going to really allow the adhesive to adhere a lot better. This is just an extra strength bond. So I'm going to put that over the scalp and let that dry. Once that's dry, I will get into the adhesion, which I do a couple coats of that. I skipped my first coat, but this is the second coat. And another rookie mistake, I should have let that first coat dry completely to transparent before I apply the second coat. Although it doesn't really hinder the application and the adhesion of the product, it just makes it a lot better when you can get it to dry transparent, to allow for there not to be any like glue pockets or anything that show up later in him wearing it. So this is the moment of truth. I've got to be super careful with this, with aligning everything up. When I did the reapplication a couple days after this, I paid attention a little bit more to some of the little mistakes I made here and did it a lot better the second time around. But this was me applying it, but I should have really kind of stretched that base a little bit to where the ends were really meeting each guideline and really making sure everything was just nice and stretched on the scalp to where it all lines up perfectly, and then there's no little bubbles or pockets or anything. It didn't turn out bad at all, but I was really happy with the reapplication of it. So since the hair kind of comes longer and curled up, I want to be careful, especially just right after the application. Even though the adhesion is really good and it pretty much adheres right away, I still want to be kind of careful. So as you can see, I'm just being light with it, just trying to get those curls to straighten a little bit. And then I'm going to get into just cutting around the perimeter, any excess that I know that I'm not going to need before I get into the actual cut. And this also is something that we tweaked when I did the reapplication after the first initial cut, which you'll see in a second, which turned out great. When we pushed that hairline back a little bit more, we took the length down a little bit more, and I was super happy with the way it all turned out, which you'll see at the end. I've got some pics of how it is currently, but I just go through and do the cut, and as you can see, it's just so amazing how that blends into his actual hair. This is an amazing thing, and when executed the right way, this is a game changer for people. So as we're getting it down, you start to see that it really is looking pretty natural. So this was after the first time I did it. I love the way it blended and everything, and honestly, it would have been totally fine if he wanted to wear it this way, but he just wanted something a little bit more age appropriate, and the hairline was bothering him, so that's why we did the reapplication. But this was after the first time, just so you can see how it blends. And I will throw up the pics of the final of everything here. So that's it, guys. That's my first install with a hair system. I was super happy with the way it turned out. Even though I had a couple tweaks and we did a reapplication, overall, I was really thrilled, and my dad is super happy with it. He went to church yesterday, which I could only imagine would be a, kind of nerve-wracking thing to step into public with something that's super different with you. But he said people really loved it and gave him a ton of compliments, and he feels confident and happy, and I'm really excited to continue doing more of these. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it and found this informative, and be sure to like and subscribe to follow me on my journey with barbering and doing stuff like this. Thank you guys so much. See you later.